Giovanni Buttarelli is the European Union's data protection supervisor. Joins me now from Brussels. Thank you, sir. Hoping that you are able to hear me. Congratulations, this is going to happen on Friday. What's your biggest concern as it now comes into operation?
Well, 24 hours to go here in Brussels. We are ready to start with full enforcement of the GDPR, and then therefore we are saying to the big over-the-top, the tech giants, please surprise us before we will surprise you.
So when would you expect to start doing the first enforcement? Because the thing that's really about GDPR is the enforcement and the somewhat draconian penalties for failure to perform.
Tomorrow morning, Brussels time, we will have the first informal meeting of the newly established board. I will serve as a member and with a first-class secretariat. And we will be discussing our working methods. We will be re-establish our task force on social networks, and we will synchronize our files on recent scandals, including, but not only, Cambridge Analytica. And we will finalize recent guidelines, including those concerning fines. All these documents are to be validated by Friday, which is our day one. And therefore, no grace period, no transition period. We are ready to start.
We are all getting emails, hundreds of them. We are all being bombarded with privacy papers and privacy policies, most of which we don't even read. Tell me, sir, how is this useful?
It is not. I'm afraid that all these messages I'm receiving as a user, subscriber, consumer, they aim to protect their data. They consider data not as personal, as relating to data subject. They are protecting themselves in a legalese language. I know that a lot of paternosters have a Gloria in a defensive mode, but what is missing is the human face on what they are doing. It's time to start respecting people and privacy, and not the companies themselves.
Right, but that can only happen once the enforcement mechanism which you're putting in place happens. Because at the moment, if I write to one of these companies and say, I wish to withdraw my data, please tell me what that means. Does it mean I can't use the phone, or I can't have my mobile account, or I can't go to that restaurant or whatever? We don't understand what GDPR is going to give us.
Well, GDPR is going to reinforce your rights. It's going to allow you to put in control of the data, and therefore the take it or leave it approach. I know that in this kind of notices you mentioned is exactly out of the context, and therefore I'm afraid that they are wasting their time in transforming what was previously based on freely given consent to unacceptable or at least controversial contractual clauses we will scrutinize severely.
Sir, you are now heading the global standard on privacy and data protection. The rest of the world is looking to the EU and taking GDPR as the gold standard. How does that make you feel?
Well, it is a responsibility. We need to be accountable, credible, reliable, knowledgeable. We don't want to dictate our values to the rest of the world. They are based also on our cultural experience. But question is that now national laws are domestic, but data flows are not. And therefore, it's time for more interoperability, mutual recognition. And therefore, I have an appeal for countries late in this process, including US at federal level, to start cooperating more with the 121 countries now equipped in the world with a modern generation of data protection provision, including but not only Europe.
Sir, very grateful that we managed to get you into the programme tonight after some difficulties. Good luck for Friday. Thank you and congratulations on what has been a Herculean task. Very grateful
for
that you
inviting
joined us
me.
today.